Hey up everyone, so there's been big changes in this garage which I will get to later on. I've had a total refurb. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting pictures of me doing bits and bats of the garage. So, well, I say bits and bats, but we've done an absolute total refurb in here, and I'm still continuing to do it now. So what happened is, all those heavy rains we've had, the garage flooded at the back, because we're right next to a field, believe it or not. So the garage flooded at the back, and it's not done that before, so I needed to get it all tanked up and rip it out, because it did a little bit of damage to some stuff. So the bikes are alright, all the bikes are okay. It's just the back end in the room of doom, which I've refurbed. I'll show you it. So I just thought I'd do a little intro about the KX, the ex-DocWob Tommy Sale Kx I've got there right behind me. So a little bit in front at the moment, actually, from my last video. I've built the engine, it's in the frame, and we'll go into that in a second. But I just want to recap, because some people have messaged me on Instagram while I've been doing this bike, just to say why I'm actually rebuilding it. So I'm a massive Kawasaki fan. I love Kawasaki Kx's, dirt bikes, street bikes, for that. I've always have been. Something about the green. Lots of things in here are getting more and more green, aren't there? So I bought the bike because I owned a 1999 one, KX 250, and when I saw Tommy Sale riding that bike around on his channel and watching it go around at Foxhills, I instantly fell in love with it, and I wanted my bike to look like that. And I think you never see these DocWob bikes on YouTube or anywhere after they've been used, and I don't know who owns them. I think he doesn't know who owns them, most of them anyway. But the bike came up for sale, and we just had to have it. So we've got the bike home, but the bike, it's old. It has been used. It's been used quite a lot, and we don't know really who's owned it since it left DocWob's place in Tommy Sale's hands. So it has been ridden a lot. It says 20 on hours or something on an hour meter, but we know it could have done more than that, than an hour meter stuck on it. We just don't know. So the bike's worn out, and when I did ride it, it felt handled amazing. The brakes were so insane, but it was lacking power. He just said to me that the piston rings are worn. He wants to refresh this bike. So what I've done is I've stripped it apart. I want the damn thing to look nice and new. I don't intend to display it. I intend to ride it, maybe race it one day. I'm doing a few modifications to the bike as well. I don't know much of the history behind it. I've not talked to them about the bike, anything like that, so I've not met Tommy Sale. So I don't know much about the history of it. What I can see, it looks like it was the prototype practice bike, and it was on display at the Foxhills for photos, stuff like that. So I don't know if this one actually performed in the race, anything like that. So anyway, it's a little bit of a damn thing to leave it on a shelf or on display, and this bike needs a life to it. Deserves it. So I want to ride it, I want to modify it, and maybe one day I'll pass it on to somebody, or I'll just keep it forever. So that's why I've rebuilt it. Anyway, so I rebuilt the bike, and there's a few things, as you expect in an old bike, are worn out. A few little welding jobs, stuff like that, if you watch my previous videos. But anyway, let's get into it. The bike's right behind me, waiting to be built, so let's carry on. Let's see where I am. It's absolutely effing freezing in this garage. It's so cold. I'm refurbishing the garage at the moment, so I've got everything in here while I do that back room, and it's going to look pretty cool when it's done. So I've got all seals here for the power valves, to rebuild everything on the power valves. I've got, in one of my other videos, I repaired this actuator rod, whatever it's called. I bought a new one. I could put that one, it does work, but if you can buy a new one while you still can. And there we are, got it from Kawasaki, so I'm going to put that in. I might get another one as well, keep some spares, because these things will eventually not be on the shelves anymore. So remember the other power valve, what the hell you call it here, was worn out around there, wasn't it? All those teeth were worn out, so I've got another one there. Here it is, the old one. That's all gone, is that? So, is it that one? Yeah, it is, yeah, sorry. That one's all eaten away there, so it's scrap, is that one. There's a guy from Poland who makes these from scratch. He's got a CNC machine, he makes them from scratch. Kips, is it, something like that? I did message him, but he never got back to me, so I went and got one of these from my contact who has all sorts of cake stuff. If you'd notice, this one has a slot cut out in there. This one doesn't matter. Same thing, same size, just a different era, different model of KX, but they are exactly the same It's just that that's lighter than this one because it's got a little bit cut out of it. It doesn't affect it at all. I could whack that out later and just cut that slot out, but I'm not going to bother. Right, not going to polish these up. They're cleaned up nice, and they're going to go back in. So I've done my honing on my cylinder. When I honed it, it looked great before. Once you start honing the cylinders, you then see all the marks come out. So I've honed the cylinder, and that's come out lovely. So I'm going to get that done back in. It's nice and clean. I've got the Wiseco, what the hell, the Wiseco brush hone there, right, from America, 100 quid. So I'm going to build this up now, and that'll be it hopefully, and get this out in the next month or so. Alright. Hey up, so the top end's assembled on the engine, pistons in, power valve, stuff like that. I've not recorded any footage of me doing that because I want to get the bike done. It's taking a long time, and life's getting in the way, things are getting in the way. So I used to restore a motocross bike from start to finish in 3 weeks. I used to do it back in early 2000s, stuff like that, when parts were on tap. But anyway, so I've skipped ahead. I want to get it done. It's riding season now. People are out riding dirt bikes, and I'm still working on the garage and the bike. So there's not a great deal of interest in the videos anyway. So, and I'm not really good with throwing things around YouTube and how you do all this descriptions and shit like that. Anyway, so so I've got the engine installed. I'm going to continue to make videos of the bike whilst I'm working the garage. And I want to do some videos of when it's finished and when we ride it. It's not going to look any different to what it did when I first got it, to be honest with you. Just a little bit more cleaner, I suppose. But anyway, I'm going to crack on and we'll continue. Right. Now then, so cylinder's on. I've not tightened the cylinder down yet. I've just seated these beautiful titanium bolts. I'm just going to check around it, make sure everything's where it should be. And the power valve works correctly before I even tighten that down. I've replaced these for these stainless Allen key bolts because I simply do not like screwdriver head things on the bolts. But when I was taking this apart, obviously they're seized in there, you can't even get them out, so I had to use a TIG to get it out. Same down here as well. I've used another stainless bolt in there just to, so it's better Allen key bolt. So on here, what I've done, I've taken a punch and I've just punched that there lightly just so it grips the power valve plate here. So because this will be floating, there's a little bit of clearance between the retaining screw head and this plate here. I don't know if it's just down to general wear and tear, if that's going in and out of the cylinder or something, I don't know, but I've just tightened that down. You see some thread lock on there, and I'll just give it a slight punch just so it seats this in place. Because yeah, this slot, it actually sits in deeper than the end of these screws go, so people don't notice that. Right, so I'm just going to make sure, can we see in there? There we go, opens lovely. Because if you get this wrong, you have to check that. It might just open slightly, not all the way. That opens all the way like that. And same with the other side as well. There we go, I've got to make sure it opens the complete port there. Alright. Okay. I'm happy I'll bolt that down. Right, just a little close up on the power valve flapper thing, everyone calls it. So I've just done some modification. I've shortened the new spring. It's got a brand new spring on there, which came in this packet, and I've shortened it slightly because it's too long, it sticks right up here. I've shortened it so it doesn't impact on these washers, because I just noticed that when I was operating it, it was sticking behind, it was catching these washers here. And also I've just taken a slight little bit of edge from these clamps here, so it stays well clear of these bolts, because I want to use those bolts on there, not the other screws. And like I said, yeah, I've just done a little punch mark on there just to bend the washer slightly to hold that in when I tighten it down, and it's all good now, is that? So you can't see the spring in there. It's slightly shorter, it's not enough to jump off it, it won't do that, but it just stays clear of these, it doesn't catch, and it runs nice and smoothly. Alright, so these are the parts to my steering damper mount. I've cut the bolts down
and just run the die around them to get the threads all nice. And this is a piece of that box section which I've cut out here, and I've chopped some pipe out there so we've got a curve on it, so that fits on the frame. And I've chopped these intricate little pieces here, which will weld on like that, which are going to be welded on like that. Got this little insert spacer here, mild steel spacer, which I've tapped out, which is going to go on there. That will be welded to there. And these, I've just made these little aluminium spacer washers. I could probably buy all this stuff, but I've just made it with whatever I've got in stock. These aluminium spacer washers, so I'll explain how this is going to work when I weld it together. So these are all more or less parts from the Honda one. So this is the actual aluminium spacer that goes on the Honda frame itself. I've chopped them down, use these little bits here. So right, and the damper is going to get mounted on there. So let's get this thing welded up, finished and welded. We should get on today. So also, I've drilled and tapped my hole in there. It may look like it's not centered, but believe me, it is. Just a pen mark. So I've drilled and tapped that M7. I've chopped off the actual steering stopper. I've just tacked it in there for temporary. That's where it's going to go. That's going to get removed because I'm making another steering stopper. I'm going to screw this aluminium piece back into it. Alright, because the metal will probably smash the aluminium to bits. Right, let's get this welded in. Right, so I'm totally happy with that. All welded in. It's going to go for powder coating tomorrow. All I need to do now is just weld this in here. A little bit of intricate welding. So the steering stopper works perfect. And I might just shave a little bit more off that. It's got some clearance just to miss this, but I might just shave a little bit more off it. That works fine. It was a right bitch trying to get this central, this piece here. So I made obviously a brand new piece here, and it's going to get welded in there. But I'm happy with that. Quite happy with it. So yes, that will fit the Honda CRF 250/450 steering dampers now. Right. So here we've got the swing arm, which is damage from the chain, the sprocket coming off, and it's popped all this out here. So what I'm going to do is weld that back in. Clean it all down. I'm going to get it all nice and clean. The bearing will come out. I'm going to wait till I get some heat in here. It should pull out because I'm replacing these bearings anyway. There you go, that's all done. So it looks messy, but I like to build up as much as I possibly can to get it all cut down. So when I've usually done welding the aluminium on, I go over it with a torch, run it over the torch just to help it sink more into the socket, so it creates a nice little groove down there, so there's less work to do either side. There we go, that's all done. New sealing there, new bearings going in. I'll show you the inside of it. All good, yeah? Easy. All these bearings, this kit to go straight in there, I've had this for a long time. It's actually from a 98 Kx 250 and it does fit, all of it fits, so that's good to know. Got ourselves a pretty worn out kickstart as well there. I'm going to weld that tip and weld that stopper there. There we go, all nice. Put a nice big chunk on there, so it's got a lot of meat to play with. That will get battered as the moment I start firing this bike up. I've no doubt about that. Okay, very, very good though, isn't it? Very good. And I've put a little bit of
Let's focus. Put a little bit more aluminium on the end of that there. All right. There you go, all done. How cool is that? I love it. Right. So, I have learned that there is an updated one of these on the later model on the CRF. It's the same, looks the same, but it's actually a bigger shaft on there. So I might look and invest in one of those. I've heard they are better than these ones. So, but we're going to try this out anyway. I've got a rebuild kit for this, so I'll be taking it off and rebuilding it. I can adjust this further down if I like to get a little bit more length out of the rod, but it works fine just like that. It's slackened well off, so there's no resistance there. The number board does not hit against it, it actually sits away from it, believe it or not. So I've thought about that before I fitted it. It's all good, looks pretty cool, does that? Can't wait to get it on. So I've removed the Kx stickers. I've got some new Kx stickers coming. I just want this Kx sticker to be moved around here a little bit. It has got some damage on there, you know, on the, sorry, it has got some damage on there on the forks from where it rubs against the sliders, which you do get on every single bike, to be honest. So I just wanted to twist the fork legs round, and but the problem was the stickers were kind of facing inwards here, so I've done that, turned it. I'm going to get some new stickers on there. Yeah, so I jumped ahead, the engine's in, tightened up, flywheels on. I've gone over the wiring as well. I've replenished that wiring in there and shielded it better because it was starting to rot and crack a little bit, so that's all good. And I'm going to update some of these connectors. I'm going to do some more electrical work, wiring work, just to update a little bit. I've sanded down my contact points there, so we've got continuity from the engine to the frame, same there as well. I've not ground down these here. I'm just going to do the ones there and test it for continuity, and it should be, that's all I need to do. I just don't want any rust or anything like that appearing on it. Subframe is going to get repaired, and that outer casing is going to be Cerakote. I'm going to coat it same colour as this, I think. I don't like it in black, so I'm going to do that. Get one for the other side as well, and get another Boyson clutch cover there. That's on, lovely, and it looks looking quite good. So get the swing arm on. It should be together in the next few weeks. We've got a little bit of time. Looks cool, isn't it? It has changed in here. I'm not going to show you the garage. It's a right shit tip at the moment because behind me I'm refurbishing the garage, so stuff is everywhere at the moment. Things are all over the place, and I'm doing work in this back room. In fact, I'll show you. Let's have a look. So yeah, it's quite different now, isn't it? So I'm doing work in the back room there. I've protected my Aprilia because my little baby bee-boo boy is pushing things around the garage. I don't want to scratch it. That's not the layout that's going to stay in there. Everything is just stashed in places till I get it fitted out. Look over there, a right mess, upside down. So I've got some more vinyl floor coming to go down here, and this next week this is going to be cleared out, and that floor is going to go down. Then I'm going to start doing some, get some more equipment to go here. I want a mechanical bandsaw, I want a welding bench. This is going to have benches from start to finish. The wall's going to get painted, new lights, new cabinets, cupboards, the lot. I'm just going to go to town on it, spent a fortune. And I'm going to get, mechanical bandsaw. I was going to get a lathe, but I use a lathe at work, so I don't need to bother with that. Might get myself another press. All brand new tools, so that's where we are with it. I've got a few additional things in here. Anyway, I'm tied up now, getting a house. That looks cool, doesn't it? Yes.